Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, beings and creatures of all connections, what if we had delivered today? Well, technically yesterday, but hey, that's not a nitpick. For December, we have had delivered the iFi Go Blue. The Go Blue is a DAC, an amp, and Bluetooth unit all in one. Tell them what they've won, Charlie. This thing can do almost all of it when it comes to headphones. And it takes the headphone quality of in-ear monitors and high reference headphones and makes it so you can walk around with this little bit in your pocket. You're still wired to some extent, but it's very light. It's feather light. The point of this is to be able to have an audiophile experience or a reference experience without being tied to your desk or to your workstation. So you can actually move while, let's say, working a concert. So you can actually mix as a sound man and you're not stuck in one spot just listening to plug in. It will work for DJs. As long as you got a pocket and a wire long enough to reach your pocket, your monitors can be excellent. Not just, well, we've all had DJ headphones. If you've ever spun, you know how some of them can be less than impressive or too boomy or they look good, they look spacey, but no, beats are not, they don't sound good. They don't, no, baby, no. And sure, if all you do is, German hard house, that's great. But if you ever have to, put out anything jazzy or anything funky, and you have to actually listen to the music and blend it, if you ever have to actually helicopter, I know most of you kids don't know what that is these days, but if you actually have to, if you ever spin vinyl, it's a little bit better to actually be able to hear the music. And if you're mixing anything that's not heavy metal or, crap, if you ever have to have a jazz gig done or a stadium gig done, you need to actually hear these people. And they need to be able to hear each other, and they can't do that if you can't hear them. So, and I'm talking about separation, sound quality, all of it. You need to be able to define the difference between what's going on. So you can pick the in-ears that fit you. You can bring your little porta-DAC along, and you can have a field. It's real simple. It's USB-C, so we're not dealing with ancient technology. And with Chi-Fi, we're always going to be grateful for that, aren't we? So we got Bluetooth 5 with aptX low latency. It's not Bluetooth 5.2, but it'll work, trust me. Yeah, you have both the balance. You can choose to be balanced or unbalanced, young Padawan. And you can use the 3.5 millimeter jack, which is unbalanced, obviously. And there's a 4.4 for you guys who know what you're doing. The ohms go up to 600 ohms, guys. And I know it's not going to push a ton of power at 600 ohms, but the fact that it can even do it and be as small as it is just amazing. You're going to get yourself 120 decibels of dynamic range out of this thing. And that's, for something that you're stuffing in your ears, you don't need anymore. That's just nuts. So, you got the typical 20 hertz on the bottom, but you have 45 kilohertz at the top end. So all of you people who like your symphonies and your girl singers and your Celine Dion's and your who's like a Yanni's and all of those people, you're going to hear all of the sparkly, wonderful, high, crispy notes and all of that crap because you don't know what funk is, and I know it's okay. You don't know how to dance, and that's okay. You can river dance, or line dance. You follow complicated directions. I don't consider it dancing, but it's marching, and they're training you for the you know what it is. But you just keep doing that and river dance, which is So it's fine. It's your people. It's just what it is. You have rhythm. You just don't know what to do with it. Okay, so. It's got a 450 milliamp hour battery life. It's going to say 10 hours in the real world. It's going to really depend on how much you're pushing and how hard you're pushing. And 10 hours is probably an optimistic. I'm pushing a 16 ohm pair of headphones. So we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see how that works out. And it's 26 grams, so it's light as a feather. I'm telling you, I said it before. And if you're from the hood, you know that 32 grams is an ounce. So it's less than an ounce in your pocket. You can just stuck it in your pocket. You have your in-ears right behind you. You're good to go. Let's see what's in the box. And let's do the normal puzzle of how do I take this apart? Oh, and it's got a nice texture on it. It has I don't know why. You know, it's just, there's not too much to the packaging, but just that nice little texture. As an autistic person, I appreciate it. I'm stimming right now, so you know, hey, leave me alone. I'm gonna do what I do. Slide. Jewelry box. You got yourself a QR code stuck there with static electricity, so I'm not gonna try to pull it out with my big old buffalo fingers. Throw that to the side. Here, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah. Folks, this is completely in my mouth. My teeth are shut. That's how small that thing is. I can almost swallow it, seriously. This tiny little machine is going to give you sound that most people don't know exists. I should say sound quality, sorry. Sound quality that most people do not know exist for at least 8 hours. That is amazing. Technology has come so far. In the 80s, I would have had to have something this big to do, and it wouldn't do what this thing can do, but to do even the basics of what this could do. Because there was no aptX, there was no, you know, all the codecs and the tech we have now is crazy. And I told you, it's got 2 holes. It's got the unbalanced and the balanced at the 4.4. And so you can run around with your regular old dirty buds, or you can put a real set of headphones up in these mugs. That cost $5,000 if you need to. And it will execute at whatever level you need it to until you have to push too much. Now, I'm pretty sure these won't fire up like a pair of planers like the P1s. You know what I mean? You know, you're going to get to a sort of limit because this would blow up if it had this much power in it, if it had that much power in it. There's some other units that would do more power, but I'm going to test the sound quality here, but its abilities on the limit of this size. I can't believe we're approaching nanotechnology these days. It's just insane. Sooner or later they're gonna give you an ear ring. They're gonna clamp it here, and it's got all this shit in it, and it's gonna play right through your ear, and you're never gonna need anything else, and it's gonna wireless it right to your brain almost, and then sit something in your jaw, and you're gonna hear like a symphony in your skull, and it's gonna sound like it's surrounding you. And this thing can do all of that. It has depth of field, whatever. It's more at this point. It's more about what headphones or earbuds that you have than this DAC. So there's really nothing else to it. Is this thing what we got in this little box? We have a bag. We have an adorable little suede-ish sack. You got troll food. We got Kevin food. We'll feed Kevin that. And then we got a USB-A to USB-C. That's it. That's all. It's very simplistic. There's nothing going on here. This strange and mysterious. It is all in here. All of it, 100%. So, iFi, go blue. Get your compact on.